Hello everyone, GeneralApple here with another Ghostpia video. And on the last video, we actually finished the third episode, which again gave us nothing more than questions. And hopefully in episode 4, which is called The Day I Was Lonely Together with Her, we'll get more answers. Even though at the end of episode 3 we kinda got to see Pacifica plotting against us, so I wonder what's up with that. But with that in mind, let's just continue. Right, start episode 4. By the way, this visual novel is really short. We are close to an end. Again, I'm gonna split this into 2 different episodes because I don't want to make like a 2 hour, long video. 2 hour long video. I don't think anyone would like that. So I'll kind of cut it into 1 hour and 1 hour. I think it makes most sense. So yeah. Can't wait to see. Surely we'll get an answer in this episode. Okay, come on, give it to me. As a self-proclaimed doctor and a bodyguard, we have an easy commute. All we have to carry is a simple box with the medical fees collected from the patients, or perhaps I should say victims. Yor carries the box on the way to work while it's still light, and I carry the box on the way back home when it gets heavy, if business is good. I'm carrying the box right now. We're pretty tired, but it's not exactly because we worked hard or anything. In any case, after work, we get back to the apartment and stop in front of the door to our room. The lock has been hacked open with an axe or something. Even the knob has been torn off. It makes me sad just looking at it. All this time, I've never even thought about how a door might feel. Yor turns to me and looks me in the eyes without a word. I nod to tell her I know. I then kick down the door as hard as I can. And before the door can hit the floor, I pull the gun out of my coat and shoot through it once, then again and again. No response. Then I throw the collection box at the ceiling in the room. When the box hits the ceiling, it explodes into a shower of coins. A voice says, "Whoa," but it's neither my voice nor yours. Thanks for giving away a position. You see, I was only trying to get a bunch of coins on the floor, so if you stepped on one, it'd make a sound that would alert me to your position. So you just saved me the trouble, I guess. The rest is simple. This happens every day after all. I rush over and fire a shot at the crown of his head. Speed is key. Just like it would our commute to work. When I turn around, not only is Yora standing there, but so are Pacifica and Anya. I vaguely wave to them. Anya says, "What's up with that?" While Pacifica waves back. "It is what it is," I reply. As a self-proclaimed doctor and her bodyguard, we have an easy commute. What is this text? I swear to God, what? She just mumbles the most random stuff in between sentences, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of driving me nuts. I don't understand. What is this? What is it? It's like poor translation. It's like translation gone wrong. I don't know what the hell is she talking about. But lately, I've got a heavy heart. This better have an answer. I'm not even joking. That just makes me mad. What? She fired at someone, then she talks about commuting, then she steals from someone and talks about commuting. That's weird. That is odd. And I know it sounds like I'm pissed, but I'm not pissed yet. I'm just getting there. I really hope this is gonna make sense. Because then if not making sense, that's when I'm gonna be pissed. Because I truly do not understand. Okay, let's do this. Must be a pain. Things were going fine at first though. We've been worrying about something lately. And that's the fact that the assailants attacked us on the way back from work every day. The priest definitely has something to do with it. He's barging into kid's room. I know his father, but he's not a dad. Coffee's ready. Yor slams coffee cups onto the table, making more noise than necessary. The rims of each cup are slightly chipped. I suppose it's only to be expected, considering the cupboard containing the cups was recklessly toppled over during the home invasion. The home was dirty to begin with, but it's only my home. It's my only home. And now that the enemy has invaded it, it's no longer a safe place. It's a pain indeed. I stare at the rim of my cup to distract myself from the man's corpse still on the floor. This man is home to many memories. I can't say they're all good memories, but they're irreplaceable. And now, it feels like those memories were tainted. But perhaps this is my fault. It probably is. It's because of my improper method. I don't know what they call themselves, but he must be in that worthless group of hoodlums who eat sweet around the clock. So he's not with the church? Well, yes and no. The church power runs deep and wide, both economically and physically. Almost every business, association, and even hobby clubs run with the support of the church if you trace the chain of commands far enough. Whether the people at the bottom of the chain know it or not, they're financially backed by the church. The assailants attacking you are probably doing so under the orders of some scumbag boss. Either that boss or the boss is probably under orders of the church. So that's why they can do these things without batting an eye. And there's also the fact that other organizations wouldn't have any reason to target you. I feel bad. Her explanation is simple and logical, but if it's true, then there's nowhere to run. I guess you need a sturdier door, huh? We've saved up a bit of money, so if you could set us up, I'd appreciate it as quickly as possible. Well, I'm not sure how much I can fudge the schedule personally, but I can manage before long. How long is before long exactly? Well, it won't take 9,099 days, that's for sure. That's not before long at all. True. I shout louder than I expected, but the one I spooked the most with that shout was most definitely myself. I'm not mad or anything, just a little tired to be honest. Sayako, don't worry. Most of the clients at her workshop are my referrals, so I can help ease up the line just a bit. Referrals, by the way, I read it wrong. What you need to do right now is bear with it just a little while longer, and that's something only you can do, so... Look, this guy got 3 magazines on him. Please don't show me that. I don't know when Yor started frisking the body, but she speaks up after finding something. All of the assassins have been men armed with a variety of weapons. Looting weapons from bodies helps us build an arsenal, and hopefully should serve as a deterrent as the enemy realizes they're just handing us more and more weapons. But there's no need to do that right now, is there? You think I frisk dead bodies for fun? Tell Sayako you're sorry for being a shitty, inconsiderate dumbass. I'm sorry for being a shitty, inconsiderate dumbass. Well said. Wouldn't you agree, Sayako? Sayako, I'm not you. I can speak for you, and I don't know how it feels to be targeted by assassins every day. But I swear I'll track down the culprit for you. Really? She broke her arm? What the hell happened? So please bear with it until then. You don't have to do anything else, just bear with it. That's your job right now. Just trust in me. I think Pacifica is strong. Far stronger than me, and she's right. You aren't me. I trust you. Well said. I give you 100 out of 100. Satisfied, Pacifica lets go of Yor before leaving with Anya. Without me even saying anything, the two of them pick up the corpse and give me a nod as if to say, leave the rest to us. Once they are gone, I clean up the wrecked, coin-strewn room and murmur to myself. I sure hope I can bear with it. Usually, we talk about the patience of the day before going to sleep, but today, we're deathly quiet. We still feel slightly reserved around each other, and we don't have much to do or talk about, so we simply get ready for bed. Sorry about earlier. I've been a little worried today, or rather, these past few days. Everyone is a little bit weird. It's something I've been saying to my patients a lot lately. I see, that's reassuring. Yeah. After the short conversation, I turn off the light. Okay. I wake up to the sound of the doorbell. Who could it be this late at night? I mean this close to dawn. Door repair? No, it's way too soon for that. Package delivery? That's not suspicious. For a second, I wish Yor would get it, but she's dead asleep, even more than a ghost, with her leg entangled around mine. Yor's pajamas are so unbuttoned, she's practically not even wearing them. I chuckle to myself because I've grown so used to seeing her like that, it doesn't even faze me. Tomorrow's going to be like any other day. I'll talk with Yor and we'll go to work together. I slip on my slippers and slip out of bed. There's a light crack in the hastily duct-taped door. It's dark in the room and bright in the hall. I can see someone standing outside without even having to get close to the crack. Those boots are familiar. They're the same ones worn by not by today's assailant, but an earlier one. Not by... And he's got a pretty heavy package with him. Whenever I loot a gun from my assailants, I toss it under our bed. If I just reach in, I'll find what I need. There we go. For just a moment, I worry if it'll wake up Yoru. Well, whatever. I'll be right there. Yeah, she's gonna shoot them. Yep, I pulled the trigger. Yoru doesn't wake up. I just hear a drone from across the room. Across the door. I kick the door open and head into the hall. I do indeed recognize the men tottering up the stair. Dots of blood line the floor, like a trail of breadcrumbs leading the way. The bloodstains get bigger as I go up the stairs. It's a sign of the men getting weaker, which should normally be a good thing. That's why I think to myself, well, it should be fine. I've just become that desensitized to this sort of armed conflicts. However, something is a little off about this particular situation. What? That's not going to help you, you know. The man doesn't react to my warning, leaving us at a stalemate. By the way, ham's delicious. I haven't had any in a while. Do you know any good place to get ham? I've been living off canned food lately. What? That is the most random thing, I swear. As you'd expect, the man just looks at me incredulously, as if to say, what's your problem? Now's your chance, whoever you are. Oh, fire! That's the first word I hear from her. She says it so spontaneously, my body just naturally flows into motion. It's as if my body were built to respond to that voice command all along. Her voice is curious, but not for that reason alone. It's sweet. Metaphorically, I mean, no wait. Maybe that's maybe only half true. Somehow it really does feel sweet. It's kind of strange since... What? Oh, don't mind me. I stare as steam pipes up from the cup of tea placed before me. The rim isn't chipped on this cup, obviously. The one who made the tea is the tall, adult woman who elfed out during the scuffle. Her bangs cover her face, so I can't tell where she's looking or read her expression. At the very least, her lips look emotionless. She's honestly a little scary. Her stoicism and burly physique really contrast with the other girl's gentle smile and delicate figure. But what's the most striking about that burly woman is the gaping hole in her gut. It's the gunshot wound from the bullet that pierced through the man's body. I have no idea how much kinetic energy a bullet can maintain after pinching through a man's body, but in any case, the bullet pierced through her clothes, and there's the blood soaking around the hole. It can't just be a flesh wound. Yet she is completely calm, and she's not the only one. Help yourself. The other girl is just as calm, sitting in what appears to be a somewhat high-tech wheelchair. I guess her legs aren't good. The entire part of the wheelchair smoothly and easily moves across the rug without a problem. It seems like a pretty high-class item. It must run on super magnetism or anti-gravity or something like that. Are those technologies commonplace now? I feel like they are, but I also feel like they're expensive. The other girl sits down a little bit away from us, abruptly rolls up her shirt, and exposes the gunshot wound on her stomach. Oof. She then quickly takes a first aid kit out of her briefcase, and with skilled hands, she quickly disinfects the wound and extracts the bullet with large tweezers. She's so calm and nonchalant, you'd think she was just popping a pimple. You okay? I call out to her without thinking. I'm the reason she got hurt after all. Met? My name. Don't worry about my injury. I train. Miss Met's voice is way more gentle than I imagined. It makes me kind of happy, though I'd be happier if I didn't see the shiny red bullet in the tip of her tweezers. We're ghosts after all. Even bullets won't go back to normal before long. What's most important is to avoid immediate death. Oh, I'm... Sayoko, I know. You're famous. Isn't it right, Met? Famous indeed. Huh. I'm sitting on a sofa in a room just 2 floors above ours. Okay, trying to make myself as small as possible. Our entire room is smaller just than this living room. At least, I think it's a living room. Is it still a living room if we're dead? Ah, my god. The random dialogue is gonna drive me nuts. Is this just how the top floor is? It's like the presidential suite of a hotel. Oh, Jesus. The princess up top. That's the achievement. Oh, I haven't introduced myself, have I? I'm Renata. I appreciate if you call me Renia. Sure. Okay, Renia and Mrs. Met. I'm glad to have you as a new friend, Sayako. Renia leans forward and reaches out her hand. I quickly take her hand so she doesn't fall out of her wheelchair. Something smells nice. It makes me a little dizzy. What is that smell? I'm flustered, but she's smiling at me from across the table as she hugs a pink plush toy that I feel like I've seen somewhere before, long ago. She's perfect. This is my room. I see. Oh. She looks younger than me, younger than Anya, maybe around Clara's age. She seems more composed and mature than Clara, but she ends up looking to be the same age due to how she just won't let go of that plush toy. So, I guess I can speak more casually with her. It feel a little bit weird to act all formal with someone younger than me, after all. Or is it just my pride talking? After overthinking it, I end up stumbling my response. The kitchen's in another room, you see? I see. It might be a bit bigger than your room. You must be rich. It's because I make a lot of things, like what's on that plate. On top of that plate are sweets wrapped in a stylish plastic bag, something you'd expect to see at a brand name store. So, I guess she sells sweets? Maybe that's how she's earned her riches. I'd be happy if you drank that tea before it gets cold. It's more delicious when it's hot. You're curious how I know about you, aren't you? It's because I've had my eye on you for quite some time, Sayako. You have such long, beautiful eyelashes. My heart skips a beat. Half out of joy, half out of surprise. Renia got long eyelashes herself, and it seems like there's not a single flaw about her. I don't know how else to put it, but she's got an immaculate atmosphere to her. She's got that luxurious appearance of a princess, but the calm voice of a queen. She's refined and refreshing, like well-chilled import mineral water that you'd find in a somewhat fancy supermarket by the station. Okay, that's a weird metaphor, but still. But your hair could use a little work. Do you do proper hair treatment when you take a bath? Hair treatment? That sounds like such a foreign word to me. In fact, I only started to take a bath when Pacifica and Anya told me to. But at least I'm better than Yoru, okay? She doesn't even take baths if you tell her to. I'll share what I use with you. Oh, I couldn't. That way, our hair will smell the same. Renia looks right at me with her reddish-brown eyes. I don't understand the meaning of her gaze. Despite Renia seemingly knowing everything about me, I have no idea what she feels at all. Okay. You know, this tastes pretty good, for powder anyway. Living things do not exist in this town, and perhaps for that reason most food products aren't fresh, but processed food like smoked meat, sausages, or vacuum-sealed quick meal. We don't even drink coffee brewed from roasted beans, just freeze-dried instant coffee. I don't have many opportunities to drink tea, but this tea is probably made from powder rather than actual leaves. After hesitating for a moment, I take a sip. It's sweet, but the flavor doesn't leap out at me. It just vaguely tastes like expensive tea. Oh, it reminds me of some tea I had with a friend when we went to a tart stand inside a department store, I think. Wait, what's a department store? Ah, finally! We got a glimpse of reality. Thank you for saving me. Don't mention it. I mean, it was kind of my fault to begin with. You'll be my friend, won't you? I know it might sound weird for me to say this, but I just thought you were so cool and amazing back there, Sayako. I would love to have a friend like you, Sayako. That is, if you think I deserve it. You know, maybe some good can come out of pretending to be a ninja in some strange town in the middle of nowhere after all. I don't know how to say it, but this experience is special to me. You see, it'll make me very happy. I'd be happy too. We talked for a while after that. The way Renia speaks is different from the other ghosts I've met. She carefully and courteously chooses each individual word slowly, but surely, as if carefully constructing a building. She leads the conversation so well, even I can keep up with her, despite how I usually stumble at the questions as simple as, how's the weather? As someone who's exhausted every day, this conversation is a blessing. Okay. Oh, back at the cafe. Yo? When Yora and I enter the cafe, Anya raises her hand to catch our attention. You're early. Sorry for calling you out here. Hey, no sweat. What should we order? Don't bother with the new menu items, they're not very good. Really? I want to apologize for yesterday, but I can't find the proper timing, so I end up awkwardly bidding my time. But Pacifica arrives soon enough, and after some small talk, we get to the point. Yeah, I guess as long as I apologize by the time we head out, I'm good. So, this is the thing I want to show you guys today. Anya tosses a small resealable bag onto the table. Ew, gross. What the hell? Is that a bug? In the bag there would appear to be a some-side, oddly metallic pill bug. No, wait, it has few legs for a pill bug. In any case, it's a curious creature. Quite a curious creature. We found it on that corpse you took care of the other day. He had an unnatural-looking wound, so I had to examine it. I had her examine it. If your memory is accurate, Psycho, he revived a few days ago, correct? I wasn't sure if someone could get a wound like that in just a few days, you see. And what do you know? Jackpot. At first I thought it was an implant or a beacon or something, but then I thought, why would you spend that much money on henchmen sent on suicide missions? Anya picks up on Pacifica Q. There must be something Anya knows about this thing, even Pacifica doesn't. I listen intently. This thing is, well, basically put, a soldier controller, receiver. So essentially, there's a main control unit out there somewhere that can manipulate dudes within this receiver implant into them. Controller? Main unit? Manipulate? I'm a little confused by all this video game-esque terms. It makes me think we've come a long way, both technologically and physically. I'm pretty sure I've thought the same thing once before and tried to go to the outside world, yearning to go home. At first, I thought it was to ensure their henchmen don't go AWOL under my fire, but that doesn't make much sense. There are so many better ways to get people to do what you say, like special rewards. Giving away all the sweets you can eat is one way to go. So you couldn't figure it out in the end. Who do you think I am? I'm Anya, the fearless leader. Of course I can look into it. These things were used in the closing years of the Great War, when the upper brass were clearly losing command of their forces and need to minimize damage caused by defection. Huh. So they tried using technology to artificially solve low morale. Basically, I wonder where these guys are sending their orders from. It looks like the main unit can send the orders to do and don't. I think it works by commandeering the reward pathways of the brain and tinkering with them freely. Like how a parasite can make grasshoppers gladly drown themselves in a river. At least that's how I think it works. What does this mean? Well, you tell someone to do something, they must do it. Tell them don't, and they must not do it. You lay down the rules. I don't know how much it costs to fully replace a brain with a machine, but unlike a robot or cyborg, these soldiers can think about various aspects of their mission and thus can violate parts of their orders as long as they uphold the order overall. Now that's a blatant disregard for human rights. Yeah, I guess it beats national collapse though. You sound like an expert. Actually, I heard this from an acquaintance of mine who happens to be an expert. He's a man, by the way. Huh? Yeah, so what? Oh my, what a lively reaction we've got here. Jesus, I guess even Anya gets around her. Hey, cut it out. But what do's and don'ts were these guys told? We just don't know. Don't rat out your own boss, maybe? I see. That does make sense. Guess we've got no choice but to capture the next assassin alive. Okay, I'll try. On the bright side, at least we're not dealing with gentle altering mutant manufacturing machine technology, I guess. I'd say the odds would be 50-50 in that case. Teenage Ninja versus Mutant would still be a tough matchup, huh? Guns. Huh? It's only 50-50 if it's unarmed. And if we include guns in the mix, I chuckle knowingly. I'll leave it to you. Glad to see you're doing well. That's probably thanks to my conversation with Renya. It's also thanks to the support you all gave me too, of course. I feel a little guilty about not talking to anyone about my conversation with Renya. I know I could just talk about it, but considering all the effort Pacifica and Anya just went through to make me a new friend, it'd be a little rude of me to just casually mention how I made a new friend and had a tea with her behind her back. I'm sorry about yesterday. Don't sweat it, it's all in the past. Sure. So we have a bug that can, I guess, control mine somehow. Bug pill, whatever. And thus, we plot to capture the next would-be assassin, cut him open according to your suggestion. On the way home, she buys the sturdiest rope available at the store, thus completing preparation. But unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, we're not attacked by an assassin on the way back. The man who used the deliverman approach yesterday was supposed to be in charge of today's assassination attempt, but since he jumped the gun and died, I suppose he's taking the day off. As I think to myself and space out, the phone rings. Hello? Hello, Sayako? Sorry for calling so late. It's okay, I was still awake. Did something happen? Yeah, kind of. Can you come over to my house? I take a look at Yoru's to see she's dozed off while reading a book. It's a pain trying to wake her up. I really need to get her to pay more attention to the time. We'll go once I've woken up Yoru, but it'll take a little time. No, I prefer it if you came alone. But we don't know when the next attack will happen. It'll be fine. Just for tonight, I guarantee it. Anya's here already. We'll be waiting. Okay, I'll hurry. I'm going. I pet Yoru on the forehead. I hear him mumble incoherently behind me as I head into town. I guess this is my third time going to Pacifica House. Since it's already late, I hesitate for a moment before ringing the doorbell. But Pacifica doesn't answer. Something like this has happened before, so I wait a bit before trying again, figuring she might be using the bathroom or something. I try to simulate the situation in my head a few times to see what the best outcome would be. I feel a little happy that I've been remembering more things lately. An entire conversation played out in my head as I wait. And yet, there's no sign of Pacifica answering the door. I really hope someone didn't break into our house to sell a grudge or to steal anything. I grab the doorknob as it turns without any resistance, meaning it wasn't locked. Something clearly wrong here. I should have done this to begin with. I barge into Pacifica House as vigilantly as possible. There's no sign of any human, or rather, ghost presence. Instead, all that's in the living room is steaming of food and coffee on the table. Normally, the smell of the food would make me hungry, but something feels ominous about this place. Someone must have broken in here after all. No, that would make sense. If I were a home invader, a table with food on, it's the first thing I'd topple over. I decide to wait. Pacifica's a busy ghost, I think. Perhaps something urgent came up and interrupted her meal. Since it's cold outside, I decide to just take the coffee. Sorry for swiping the coffee. Perhaps this coffee was actually meant for me, as it's a little sweet. I sip the coffee and sit in the sofa as I wait for the owner of the house to return. At first I'm a little worried, if there's an invader or not, but the warm room, the fluffy sofa, and the scent of Pacifica perfume lingering on the fabric relaxes me so much. By the time I start to feel a little bored, I get struck by a bout of sleepiness. Sweet things are so relaxing, huh? Just like Pacifica and Renya too. I think Renya comes out on top in terms of sugar content. Pacifica more of a mature taste. I try to get up as I start thinking weird thoughts like that, but it seems like I'm at my limit. I decide to take just a short nap. Pacifica might be shocked to find me like this. Oh man, the coffee was poisoned or something? It's a little hot. Pacifica House has efficient heating, so I guess this is how it just gets sometimes. My eyelids feel so heavy, but I force my body to get up since I know I can't just sleep here forever. Pacifica? I open my eyes. What? I wish I hadn't. I want to believe this is just a dream. I mean, I could try going back to sleep. The living room is engulfed in a sea of flames. Just about everything is on fire except for me. But it doesn't look like it'll be that way for long. I smell a faint hint of gasoline. I wonder why I didn't notice until now. The scent's way more overwhelming than the smell of burning wood, fabric, or plastic. This is arson, isn't it? But why? Wait, first things first, I gotta get out of here. With all the warning alarms going off in my head, I should have jumped out of my seat, but I don't. Huh? I can stand up, but not for long. Even if I brace my legs, the upper half of my body doesn't balance along with them. I tell my body to hold on, but the command just fizzles out before it can spread all the way. I'm frustrated, but even the frustration fizzles out. My mind goes blank. It's like I try to count to 16, but can only get to 8. I start to break out into sweat, filling my clothes with unpleasant dampness. I need to use that displeasure as a tool to prop up my feeble concentration. When I totter over to the table, I consider placing my hands on the edge, probably due to smoke inhalation. Unfortunately, I probably can't run my way out of here. I look around the window. If I try going out the front door, I'm almost certain I'll lose consciousness before I get there. I place my hands on the glass. I gather up all the strength I can muster and smash it. The fresh air touches my cheek. Almost there. Hang in there. Get your upper body out of the window. Ah! When my face slams into the ground, I know I've successfully escaped. I hear several footsteps in the snow. When I notice people gathering around me, I know that I've only gotten out of the fire and into the frying pan. Arson means there's an arsonist. And if there's one arsonist, why not several of them? Can you take them on? I ask myself. I don't think I can take them on. Can't you do something? I don't think I can do anything. How many are we dealing with? About 3 men, I suppose. Why would they gang up on a girl? Isn't it obvious? I'll kill them? Everything you couldn't do that day, I'll make it happen. Oh, I'll take a gun out of my pocket and without even taking proper aim, I fire at one of the men. What happens after that? Beats me. The world seems to move frame by frame, but with several frames missing. Before I realize I've dropped my gun. Ah, damn it. The men glare at me. My body can't move anymore. Not even my brain. I'll kill them. The only thing inside me is that of single-minded intention. Time slowly drags on. The sudden sound of sirens snaps me back to my senses. The police car stops. Police, what's going on over here? A familiar-looking, plainclothes police officer shouts from the police car door window. Mind explaining yourself? When the officer tries to get out of his car, the men shoot at him. Whoa. But they all get out of it. It is a few cracks in the windshield. Hey, you can just shoot a police officer like that, you know. The officer acts somewhat predictably and then... hey Ninja, sorry if in advance if I hit you. He says that before firing his shotgun. I hear a repeated alternation between gunshot and pump action. The simulation is overloaded, fried my burnt out nerves, leaving me completely disoriented. Okay. Again, kind of random. Before I know it, it's just me and the officer. The other men run away. The police officer then turns to me and continues. Hey, no need to be so apprehensive. I'm on your side today. Liar. I'll kill you, I swear. Huh, I say exactly what crosses my mind. I see. Wow, that's scary. But his casual tone of voice is nothing but proof that the danger is gone, which makes me happy and relieved. Maybe I can let my guard down just a little, and then... Ah. There's nothing little about me letting my guard down here since I lose consciousness entirely. Okay. Again, random stuff all over. I wake up when I notice the characteristic rumbling of a car driving down the road. Every time the car shakes, my head aches and I curse. Hey, I don't think that's appropriate language for a young girl your age. I'm lying down in the rear seat. The chief's driving, so I can't read his facial expression. Why did you save me? Well, I rushed to the scene since the house was on fire. When I got there, I found men ganging up on a girl, and as police officer, it's my duty to protect and serve you. I thought you were the enemy. The chief guffed, exhaling loudly with each ha. True, the police does have a cooperative relationship with the church, but it's not like the police's main duty is to serve the church, it's to protect the town. So it's for convenience? We want to protect the town, and if it means picking sides, we'll pick them. So, about the fire. We're investigating. We are, but the homeowner. Pacifica? Yeah, I think she's kinda had it coming, honestly. When you live that luxuriously, you have to expect at least a little arson. Pacifica is not a bad person. That's right. Pacifica's strong, smart, well-connected, and most of all, she protects you. Well, in that case, the church isn't bad either, huh? She's not like the church. Nah, doing business on a scale like hers while also keeping the church at the bay isn't as easy as you think. You've got to do some pretty messed up stuff to manage that. That can't be the case. She's probably trying to seize control of the town away from the priest. That's what they've been saying since forever, at least. Not only does my head hurt, but my heart throbbing too. I don't want to hear it, I really don't. There's a side of Pacifica that I don't know, a side I'm too afraid to know. But what I'm most afraid of is losing my trust in her. I want to believe in her. Everyone whispering that she's seriously vying for the top spot of the food chain. She's got the strongest bodyguard in town on her side after all. So that's what people think about my relationship with Pacifica, huh? That's not true. Your precious friend. Pacifica's the only one who brought me out of my room, you know. Me? The chief silently nods. Why did Pacifica brings me out of my room? Is it because she needed me, or just anybody with great physical strength? It can't possibly be the latter. We delivered a letter today. That's something we do every so often. We earned a fair bit of trust, you see. And it was a letter from the church to you-know-who. Before I realize it, I'm gritting my teeth. The palm of my hand hurt too since I'm clenching my fist and digging my nails into my skin. My coat's moist with strange sweat. I feel so uncomfortable I let out a groan. What was the letter about? How should I know? We just delivered it, but I can hazard a guess on second thought. Never mind. Oh, do I turn left here? Out with it. You'll just get mad if I tell you. I can hurl you into a wall again, and I won't hold back this time. I try to be as threatening as possible, and it looks like it worked, as the chief begins to speak slowly after a short pause. I just think it's something like, if you want to join us, now's your final chance. First they form a business partnership with her, and then they seize her sympathizers. That's their usual modus operandi, isn't it? That can't be right, can it? Well, that's just my take on it anyway. What a weird take. I don't say anything after that. My head hurts too much. The officer says something and opens the police car door. In front of me is my apartment complex. My headache's getting noticeably worse, but I make a mad dash for my room anyway. The police really is poop. All cops are poop, as if I'm ever gonna thank you for anything. What? What a random words. What? Okay. When I get back to the room, Yora's asleep. Her lips are at the odd sort of volume, for they can neither call thin nor thick. I can't help but touch them. My finger leave a thorny trail. Maybe it's mud, maybe it's soot, maybe it's blood. Ugh. I think this chilly, clean room is stark contrast to me. I feel out of place here. I'm filthy from crawling on the floor through the fire. I still feel hot, only now I notice the burn on the base of my neck. Guess I'll go take a bath, maybe that'll lighten my mood. That must mean my mood is bad. I suppose I do take a bath whenever I'm in a bad mood. When I take off my clothes and timidly give them a smell, they definitely stink, like a flea market of bad smell. I whisper to myself as I toss every last article of clothing into the washing machine. I then head to the narrow bathtub of my modular bathroom and twist open the hot water faucet. Crap, I curse my own foolishness for not drawing the bath first as I shiver in the cold bathroom with my clothes in the washing machine. If I'd filled the tub first, I may have just jumped in as is, but as it stands, it just feels kind of wrong to get into the half-filled tub. I feel cold. Wait, I've got bath towel, don't I? I turn around to look at the shelf behind me, but then the bedroom door opens. Wearing her pajamas, Yoro looks this way in surprise. Whoa. I grab the bath towel on top of the shelf and hide my unsightly self. We may be roommates, we may sleep in the bed, same bed, but we still got boundaries. And it's Yoro of all people. How could I be comfortable showing myself to her? You're taking a bath too, Psycho? That's unusual. Well, yeah, I have every now and then, please. I got a soily taste in my mouth while I was sleeping, so I realized that I haven't been brushing my teeth lately, so I should probably go do that. Brushing your teeth is important, isn't it? Yeah. Apparently your teeth will rot if you don't brush. That's kind of scary. I kind of like these awkward conversations we have. It's familiar and relaxing, like a pair of shoes you've broken in. I've got a little dirty myself, so I need to go clean up my body. There's something I like to talk about once I'm done taking a bath. She caught me by surprise, but this could actually be a big chance for me now that I think about it. It's almost dawn, our obligatory curfew, where ghosts cannot maintain consciousness. What I have to tell Yoru isn't easy to talk about, and I don't know how to follow it up once I'm done. That's why it's reassuring that I can rely on Dawn first to forcibly bring any and all conversation to a close. It's a little unfair, I know. I figure I'll warm up my courage in the bath, but as soon as that idea crosses my mind, Yoru nonchalantly speaks up. No, it's fine, we can talk here. You can go ahead and take your bath as we talk, Sayako. Huh? The tub's gonna overflow. Whoa. Enjoy. Urged by Yoru, I head to the full-to-the-brim bathtub and plop my body into the water. After a second of thinking, I shut the curtain. Even I need my privacy sometimes, you know. The scent of fresh steam billows up from just below my face. Even when I'm in an unknown town in some faraway country, this alone remains the same. Even when I've become something of an incomprehensible as a ghost, on the other side of the curtain, I can hear Yoru starts brushing her teeth. I let out a long sigh. Hey Yoru, can you hear me? Yoru grunts. I guess that means she can hear me. Earlier today, Pacifica called me on the phone and said she had something important to talk about, so I should go over to her house. You out of... okay, I'm not know how to read that. I should have woken you up so you could come too. That's what I was thinking, but she said to come alone, though I guess it'd be less dangerous if something happened along the way and I was alone. Well, something didn't need to happen, which is why I'm bringing this up now. It's a good thing that I didn't bring Yoru with me. I didn't catch that, but you want to know what happened next? Well, when I get to Pacifica house, nobody was home, and like an idiot, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I fell silent for a moment, or rather, I couldn't find it in me to keep talking. I recall that moment of despair. I've got a thick skin and thick skull to boot. At least that's how I always seen myself. But when I think about the despair and hopelessness, I felt that moment I woke up. The back of my throat clenches and I can't get any words out. Everything burn, room, I. Perhaps catching onto my current state, Yoru stops brushing her teeth. The pathetic sound of my wheezing echoes through the bathroom. I lost track of the passage of time after that. The sound of rustling clothes mixed in with the sound of my heavy breath. The curtain opens. Excuse me, can you scoot in a bit? Huh? A fully naked Yoru steps into the bathtub, pushing me a little to the side. The excess water gushes out with a hearty splash. It seems kind of wasteful. Why? We share a bed, so why not a bath too? Let's lay together and bare our skin together so we can lay bare the truth together. You know that showing skin to each other in a friendly way thing you told me about, Sayako? That's so weird. It might be weird, but I don't mean anything weird by it. You're overthinking things, Sayako. Huh. Anyway, let's move on. Whenever Yoru talks, a fresh but artificial mint scent tickles my nose. I don't remember telling her about that culture tidbit. In fact, it feels more like culture's tidbit between boys, if anything, but maybe I'm just upset that I can't remember telling her about it. Tell me everything that happened, I want to know. This bathtub wasn't made for two. Our legs are touching. I can feel her body heat, which is a little lower than the heat of the water. To keep my eyes from wandering, I look at my knees. I've got a scrap. When I woke up, everything was on fire. I was scared. So I think even you are afraid of, huh, Sayako? Of course there are. Lots of them. That must have been a scary experience. Yoru's hand moves underneath the surface. Her fingertips crawl around on my calf, like a ghost without a place to go. You've been saving guns underneath the bed, right? I've got a few at least. Where's she's going with this? I was organizing them earlier and I found out one gun that looked familiar. What do you mean? It was that big gun that Pacifica used the other day to shoot that what's-his-face guy. I do remember that gun. Pacifica swiped it off Mort when he suddenly rushed into her house the other day. She did say, this thing's dangerous, so I'll keep it in the vault until it disappears by itself, didn't she? My fingertips feel cold, even though the water's so warm. It was an unusual gun for sure, but maybe this one just a doppelganger. They're probably just similar guns. I mean, they're mass-produced after all. I got scared thinking why Pacifica would give that gun to one of those hooligans. So scared I couldn't mention it. Maybe she needed the money or something. Yeah, hopefully it's something like that. Okay, your turn, Sayako. Huh? You don't have to talk if you don't want to. But I think talking things through will help you feel a little bit better. That's my opinion, as a specialist at least. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I'm fine, but I just suck at talking, so I'm sorry. In slow, stuttered words, I managed to tell what happened after that. How the chief happened to come to my rescue and the unpleasant things he told me after that. If we were talking anywhere else besides the bathtub, I might have withheld several details or exaggerated the number of men threefold. And I definitely wouldn't have told her about what I heard from the chief. But the warmth of the water and the sensation of your skin make me feel so relaxed and well-bear that I can't help but bear the truth. I see. That must have been rough. I was scared, but just a little. Are you still scared? Just a little. I see. Yours starts stirring, and for some reason, she strokes her wet fingers through my hair. I think I'll take a break from my medical practices for a while. I softly gasped at your declaration, because I had a feeling we'd talk about that once we got out of bath. But it took her so much work to get the job. I don't want to take it away from her. Even someone as dense as me can tell that Yoru thoroughly enjoys that job, but she might be the next thing to go. I was ready to protect her, even if it meant taking away the only joy in her life, even if it meant making her hate me. I'm sorry. There's nothing to apologize for. But in the end, I didn't need to tell her to quit her job. I didn't have to make her hate me. It's such a relief. It felt like a weight been taken off my shoulders. Sayako. Yes? I'm so sleepy. Yeah, me too. Yoru's droopy eyes looked quite sleepy indeed. Mine must look just like hers. I see, the sun must be starting to rise beyond the small bathroom walls. Ghosts are creatures of the night and are therefore not allowed to be awake in the light of day. That's why we inevitably grow tired and fall asleep. I guess this is fine every now and then. We're too tired to even get out of the bathtub. Whether we like it or not, our senses seem to dissolve into the bathwater as we doze off to sleep. The situation reminds me of something. Alright, a double suicide. Death dissolved the boundary between the two of us as we melt into a puddle together and disappear. It's a fairly blessed feeling, to be honest. It sure beats feeling of decaying in isolation, at least. She's my other half. I have to protect her. At least that's how I feel. And just like that, it's morning, I think. Okay. It's kinda weird. When a major event happens, it's not the event itself that changes us. What changes us is it's the new normal brought upon us by it. If I were to become someone completely different tomorrow, then both I and everyone else around me would be able to notice. But that's not what actually happens. We change so slowly, nobody notices. By the time you notice, you're already changed past the point of no return. I'm walking through the garbage dump again today, because if Pacifica and Anya are back, then they should somehow should show up here. But they haven't come back. Either they didn't die, or I just missed their revival. The attacks have stopped, both at home and on the streets. But I have no idea why. Were the assailants after those two all along? No, that can't be. They had been after either me or Yoru. Something changed that night Pacifica House burnt down, but I don't know that, and that frustrates me. But it's not like being frustrated about it will help me figure it out. How long should I keep Yoru locked up in that room? I walk a lap around, and then another lap for good measure. Looks like I'm coming home empty-handed today. I see black luxury car parked out beyond the garbage dump gate. The rear seat window slowly opens. Sayako. Good evening. It sure is cold. Come in before you freeze. Oh, thanks. Good evening to you too, Mrs. Met. How did it go today? I shake my head. I see. How was your roommate? Things are a little awkward since I said something mean. While I'm out here walking freely, Yara's unable to work because of me. Unlike me, she's unable to defend herself, so she can't walk outside alone. She has enough money for the time being, but it won't last her forever. There's a lot of tension over various things right now, which is why we haven't talked much recently. I told Renya earlier, but it seems like it looks like she remembered. I see. Things must be tough for you too. There have been several difficulties. Renya and of course Mrs. Met have been picking me up by car here once every few days lately. I touched the luxurious leather seat with the palm of my hand. Leather, a dead good. The dead good, maybe. Sorry for making you drive all the time, Mrs. Met. You can drive next time then. Just a joke. Your jokes are boring. You'd better be off not telling them. Renya snaps at Mrs. Met with a spine-chillingly cold voice, unlike the playful, loving banter that Pacifica uses when rebuking Anya. I'm sorry. What do you want? To get in the way of my fun? To be part of the conversation? No, ma'am. Right. That should be obvious. My apologies. Don't do it again. Renya turns to me and says, sorry about that. Her voice is so warm, it's confusing me. It's ominous even. What exactly is the relationship between Renya and Mrs. Met? It seemed like a completely anachronistic master and servant relationship. I just can't see what's binding those two together. That said, Yor and I might seem like that too. But at the very least, the two of us are friends who are close in age. So are these two friends. It certainly doesn't look like it. I'm tired, Psycho. I worked so hard. Renya plops down onto my lap from beside me. As I stare into her confusion, she responds with a wink and a bashful giggle. Renya's sudden behavioral shift sends shiver down my spine. It's ghastly, dreadful, and yet endlessly charming. My eye twitch, my head spins. I think something like this has happened before. Not that I have any intention of trying to remember right now. I'm quite used to being called unreasonable, but I had to yell today. Renya must be scared when she yells. I hope I never have to see her yell. At work? Yeah, we were on our way back from work today. I figured you'd blow all my frustration away once I saw you, Sayako. I'm not that good. We don't know our own worth, Sayako. We can only deal with what's worth given to us by others. I can feel Yaranya's fingers unbuttoning my coat. She slides her chilly hand underneath my inner sweater and slides her fingers on top of my underwear. Renya? I want to become bigger and stronger. I've been holding myself back for so long. I've been trying to get myself free. I've been trying so hard, you know? That tickles. You want me to stop? No. I don't want to do as I'm told. Renya removes my underwear and traces her finger against my side. Her cold swing makes me shiver. Dude, what the hell is going on? Why do I want to listen to people who don't listen to me? Renya pinches my side hard. Ah, stop that. No, not until you do as I say. Whoa. Renya peers into my eyes. There's a discerning glint in her eyes that seems to peer into the depths of my thought. And beyond the glint burns the flames of hatred. At least that's the impression I get. What do you want me to do? I want you to accept what I'm about to tell you. I don't know if I can until I hear it. I want to give you a place where you belong, and that place is by my side. I do have a place where I belong, you know. While I normally wouldn't say that, that's at least what I think. I don't know why I can't say it. It seems like such an important thing. This girl's dangerous, but I knew that from the very beginning, didn't I? The whirling wind outside the window sounds so much louder. Neither of us say a word. But for a completely different reason. Renya's silent because she's confident she got the upper hand. And I'm the exact opposite. Do you know how long I've been holding myself back? Don't you feel like it's time for something to change? I should probably decline. My sense of reasoning barely manages to hold out. But I have to ask you, Oru. I don't think that she's so important. Makes you wonder why the priest is so worked up about her. I don't get what you're saying. I know you do. Can you just speak clearly, for the love of God? Just stop talking in like riddles. Just say it. She tightens her grip on my side. All I can do is wince and try to ignore it. Must everyone belittle me, even you? No, that's not it. Bruh. I snap back to reality when I hear Mrs. Met clear her throat. Someone's banging on the window. It would seem they have business with us. Just do the usual. You love doing things by the book, don't you? What's wrong? What makes you think there's some sort of exception this time? If you want to interrupt me, just say so. But it's someone from the church. The church? Renia gasps and looks. Sure enough, it would seem that someone from the church is indeed on the other side of the rear sit window behind me. I've got a bad feeling about this. I twist my neck a little, past its comfort zone. Oh man, look who's here. Smith Clara under unlikely circumstances. Ah. Do you know her, Psycho? If so, I have doubts about who you choose to associate with. No, I swear to God. Very well. Keep driving. I've had enough of this discussion. The car resumes driving without a sound. I wonder where we're going. The entire world is empty. The entire world is empty, save for the sound of the tires pushing through the snow. As I shriek back in my seat, I feel like I have no right to autonomy whatsoever. You can take your time to think. We got all the time in the world, don't we, Sayako? Renia's right. We do have all the time in the world. Are you asking if I'd like to work at your sweet shop? Renia has an advantage here. She's confident that I'll cave in eventually. I sure am, Sayako. Why don't we work together? I look as long and hard at Renia's perfect smile. The car stops. Outside the window is a familiar sight. Apparently we were driving back to the apartment. Renia motions for me to go ahead and get out of the car. Is it okay if I give it some thought? Of course. If you ever feel up to it, just tell me, okay? I'll ask you again myself though, obviously. Okay, see you later then. As soon as I take my first step outside, I hear a voice again. Wait. I know the answers to everything, or rather maybe 80% of what you want to know. Perhaps you'll learn everything I know if you become mine. Oof. The sudden sound of the car taking off makes me stagger and do an odd little tap dance. The ground might be a little muddy, but it's nowhere near that unstable. It might just be my own dizzy senses. I felt this sensation before. Why am I doomed to remember the discomfort and anxiety that I felt when the weird old men said those weird old things? The sensation is telling me that the secrets Renia referring to are the same ones the old men did. I feel hesitant. It's so frustrating to be tempted with a bait like this. But I don't think I can help it. After all this time, I was able to convince myself that the old man was just spouting crazy nonsense. But Renia, one of the wisest, most rational people I know, if it's coming from her, I don't think I can write it off as simple delusion. Another thing of concern is that the majority of ghosts aren't interested in the secrets. But why not? It's hard to understand why you wouldn't be interested in knowing why you're here. Unless, that is, they all already know. Does everyone know these things? Am I the only one left in the dark? I go back to my room, hesitating if I should talk to Yoru about all this. It turns out there was no need for me to hesitate. I can't talk to her even if I wanted to. The room's a mess and Yoru's gone. And that will be all for today's video. And again, I have so many questions. But at least in this episode, I think it's the most we've seen in terms of advancing the real lore of what the hell is happening in this ghost town. I mean, we met this new character, which also appears to have the answers, just like the old men did. But still, our character is so weird, and I swear to God, it is so annoying when she just talks about something important and then spouts the most random thing ever. I don't understand this writing. And I mean, even if the ending is gonna be good, this entire series have been so boring so far, I have to admit it, like I can't just deny it. In House and Fata Morgana, you had so much to go until you hit, like, the true lore, like what, you know, the real meat of the game, but it was still interesting. All the doors were interesting, like every single one of them. Here, all 3 episodes, including the 4th one, are super boring. Like, nothing happens. I got absolutely no clue, not a hint of what the hell is actually going on, and I really hope that will change soon, because otherwise I'm gonna cry. Okay, but yeah, I don't want to talk too much shit about this game. I mean, it's not that bad, obviously, but right now I'm just super confused. So yeah, hopefully it will get better. Tomorrow we have to wait and see, because we can continue right where we left off. But that's all for now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.